Ron Howard, an iconic name in American cinema, is more than just the beloved faces of Opie Taylor and Richie Cunningham. His career spans decades, but behind the familiar smile and famous roles lies a story of sacrifice, perseverance, and survival. Born on March 1st, 1954 in Duncan, Oklahoma, to Rance and Jean Howard, working actors who often struggled to make ends meet, Ron's early life was anything but ordinary. The lights of Hollywood did not wait for him to grow up. By 18 months, he was already on film sets, his childhood stolen by cameras. His formative years were spent in a world of studios, casting calls, and adult conversations, shaping a young boy who would later rise to become one of Hollywood's most respected directors. A childhood under studio lights. From a young age, Ron Howard was immersed in the world of Hollywood. By the time the family moved from Oklahoma to California, chasing work in television, Ron was already part of the machine. As a child, he wasn't just playing, he was working. His childhood was measured in call sheets, camera angles, and the harsh realities of life on set. In the cramped trailers behind the sound stages, Ron was surrounded by adult problems long before he could understand them. Crew members smoked, arguments about lighting and missed cues filled the air, and the harsh realities of the film industry became a part of his daily life. This was no ordinary childhood. It was a life molded in the shadows of Hollywood's golden glow. Fame, as a double-edged sword, by 1960, Ron had become a household name, playing Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show. He was America's favorite on-screen son, beloved by millions of families. However, fame was a double-edged sword. Behind the charming image of Opie, there was a deep sense of loneliness and isolation. California law required child actors like Ron to study 3 hours a day, but the children around him were colleagues, not friends. He had no recess, no baseball games after school. His world was one of endless work. The praise from millions of fans couldn't shield him from the loneliness that lingered long after the applause faded. His fame, once a source of joy, became the cage that trapped his childhood. The struggles of growing up in the spotlight. Despite his fame, Ron Howard faced harsh criticism from his peers. The nickname Dopey Opie became a cruel taunt that followed him through school. He was ridiculed by other kids, and one day, in a moment of sheer embarrassment, he wet his pants in public. That incident stayed with him throughout his life, a painful reminder of the cost of fame. When he worked on The Music Man, he panicked during a dance routine and feared he would disappoint the adults around him. His struggles were often masked by the smile America loved, but behind that smile was a boy desperately trying to find his place in a world that wouldn't let him grow up. Trapped in the shadow of Opie Taylor. By the age of 13, Ron had already been on television for nearly a decade. The character of Opie Taylor was so ingrained in the public's perception of him that Ron felt like he could never escape it. While other boys his age were experimenting with new hairstyles or their first crushes, Ron was forced to live up to the image of a character who had become an indelible part of American culture. Casting directors saw him as too recognizable to take on other roles, and he was often dismissed as Opie, even when auditioning for more mature parts. This struggle to break free from the character of Opie weighed heavily on him. He couldn't shake the feeling that his fame had already defined him in ways he didn't understand. Discovering a new purpose as a director. By 1982, Ron Howard had left behind the role of the sweet, innocent boy to step into the world of filmmaking. His directorial debut, Night Shift, showcased his quiet competence as a director. The film may not have been a blockbuster, but it demonstrated his ability to shape stories and guide actors. It was with Splash in 1984, however, that Ron proved his worth as a director, with the film earning over $69 million and marking his arrival as a major player in Hollywood. This success was followed by Cocoon in 1985 and Willow in 1988, cementing his place as a director capable of crafting both commercial and emotional successes. Building an empire. Imagine Entertainment. By 1985, Ron Howard had co-founded Imagine Entertainment with producer Brian Grazer, a company that would go on to produce some of the most memorable and emotionally resonant films of modern cinema. With films like Backdraft, 1991, and Apollo 13, 1995, Ron had established himself as a master storyteller, a director who could handle both intimate dramas and high-budget epics. Despite this success, Ron's work ethic became obsessive. He worked tirelessly, often for 16 hours a day, driven by the fear that Hollywood would always remember him as Opie. His relentless pursuit of success came at a cost, as it left him with little time for his family, and the strain began to show. Apollo 13, a career-defining moment in 1995, Ron Howard directed Apollo 13, a film that would become a defining moment in his career. The film earned over $350 million worldwide and received 9 Academy Award nominations, solidifying Ron as one of Hollywood's premier directors. However, as his professional life reached new heights, his personal life began to unravel. His mother, Jean, was suffering from failing health, and his brother, Clint, was battling addiction. Despite his success, Ron felt the weight of these personal struggles, and he began to realize that no amount of professional success could shield him from life's inevitable challenges. Personal loss, and the price of success. When Ron's mother passed away in 2000, the grief he felt was not something that could be captured by cameras. As he sat by her hospital bed, holding her hand, he realized how much time he had lost to the demands of his career. The very success that had allowed him to build an empire had also distanced him from the people who had always supported him. His regrets about missed moments were painful, and the loss of his mother made him question what truly mattered in life. As he grieved, he also found himself facing another challenge: the ongoing struggles of his brother, Clint, who had battled addiction for years. The struggles of family and redemption. Clint Howard's battle with addiction was a source of deep pain for Ron. Despite his best efforts to help his brother, Clint continued to struggle. Ron often felt powerless, watching as addiction seemed to consume his brother. He hoped that with time and intervention, Clint would find his way. And eventually, Clint did, slowly recovering through treatment. However, the scars of that difficult time remained for both brothers. Ron had learned that even his success couldn't shield those he loved from the harsh realities of life, and this realization changed him in ways that fame never could. A final farewell. The loss of Cindy Williams. In early 2023, Ron Howard received the devastating news that Cindy Williams, his co-star from American Graffiti, had passed away unexpectedly. Cindy was a dear friend, and her loss hit Ron hard. It brought back memories of their time on set, when they had shared laughter and friendship amidst the chaos of early fame. The news of her passing left Ron with a deep sense of loss, reminding him that life is fleeting and that the people who have supported us through the years are irreplaceable. A life of legacy and reflection. Now, at 71, Ron Howard stands as a testament to survival, resilience, and the value of time. His wealth, now estimated at nearly $200 million, is a reflection of a life built through hard work, creativity, and perseverance. He and his wife Cheryl, who have been married for over 50 years, continue to enjoy their family and their shared life together, With 4 children, including actress and director Bryce Dallas Howard, Ron's legacy extends beyond his films. Today, he spends his time giving back